you doing, my friends? Welcome to the Jovenshire channel, where we cover all things superheroes, video games, comics, TV shows, all things geeky here in one place. And we've got yet another 5 fun facts video for your faces. Now, before we jump into what we're doing today, I do want to say that if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, because if you like this video, I guarantee it, that you're going to like every other video that we do here. And oh boy, I'm excited for today, because here on 5 Fun Facts, we've talked about the internet. We've talked about television. Now we're going to the stars of the big screen. That's right. Today's guest is in one of my favorite movies of all time. Plus, has his own podcast called The 4D Experience, and now can add comic book creator to his resume that is already packed to the brim. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you Mr. Dan Fogler.
Jovenshire.
Oh, he just sang my name. I'm getting serenaded on my own show, and I couldn't love it more. How are you doing, my friend? How are you? How's life?
Life is good, man. I'm taking it day by day here in the UK.
Oh, so you're in the UK right now? Is that where you're hanging out?
Yes, this is where I'm locking it down.
Not a bad view to have during quarantine land. A little envious of you. Now, before we get into all of this, one of the main reasons we have you on today is, yes, you've been in some major movies. Yes, you've got an awesome podcast. But let's talk about these comic books that you have that are, as the time of this video being released, are all available right now. So go ahead and give us a little breakdown of what it is that you're creating these days.
So I got three titles coming out with Heavy Metal Magazine, which is really exciting for me, because that's like the first comic book that I ever started reading, and Heavy Metal the movie, and so it's just a huge influence. So my comic books are, you know, homages to that fantasy sci-fi genre. Moon Lake is literally like huge inspiration from Heavy Metal the movie. So if you've ever seen Heavy Metal the movie,
I remember watching Heavy Metal when I was younger, and I was like a little kid, and it was almost like too much for my brain to take in, like all the different art styles, the different characters and creatures. I was like, this is what I want life to look like.
Yeah. It blew my mind, and I saw it so many times over and over and over again when I was a kid, because I just had the one HBO cable channel, so it was just like whatever was playing.
On loop, yeah.
And but I loved just watching that. And then so when I made my first comic book, Moon Lake, I thought, I want to do that, except my narrator is not the Lochnar, you know, this living evil orb. My narrator is the man in the moon, and he's like Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchcock on acid. You know, he's gone loopy from, you know, being cast away on the moon, basically, and he's telling these freaky tales to a captive audience of gray aliens who are just listening to every, you know, hanging on every word.
That's awesome.
You know, that's very campy, you know, very, you know, Tales from the Crypt and that kind of creep show kind of vibe. And then my other stuff, Brooklyn Gladiator, which I'm really excited about as well. It's if you're a comic book reader, I got Simon Beasley to do the art. Then as I was writing Brooklyn Gladiator, which is, you know, basically about fighting the technocracy, you know, that's...
Oh, I love that name. Technocracy.
Technocracy, you know, 1984, it's, you know, or the Orwellian world that we seem to be slipping toward. As I was writing it, I was like, man, we're living it right now. Why don't I should write about what's happening right now. So that's why I started writing Fishkill, which is the prequel to Brooklyn Gladiator.
Oh, okay, so they're connected.
Yeah, so is the seeds for the technocracy takeover.
So you're living your comic book dream, like, right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome, man. I'm so excited for you. That's really cool. Like I said in the intro, you're really just kind of like adding to your already impressive resume, and now our viewers here get to jump in to see those. I've got links down below to his different titles and the other stuff that he's doing. Now let's jump into 5 fun facts. And you guys know how this works. Dan, you kind of have an idea of how this works. We're just going to be going over 5 fun facts that the internet probably doesn't know about you. Maybe some hardcore fans, but we are updating the Wikipedia pages today. We are going to learn 5 things we probably didn't know about Dan Fogler. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we're going to start at number 5 on your list, Dan. Take us down the road of this first fun fact.
Okay, number 5. I'm a bad driver. I daydream a lot.
Starting off with the highest of all modesty.
I'm dangerous. You know, I was told by my driving instructor, like, he was basically like, I don't know what your problem is. Like, it's like your skills are good. Like you know how to drive.
What sentence you want to hear?
He's like you know how to drive, and your reflexes are good, and your awareness is good. But then, like, every once in a while, you'll end up on the wrong side of the street. Do you realize that? Like, I had no idea. That was my. It was weird. I don't know what my problem is.
That was a long time ago. I would imagine you being in the car with an instructor. Has time and experience not led to, getting a little bit better at, driving?
But what's crazy is almost everything I do, movies and television, I'm the guy who is the car expert. Like, they always put
That is set a dangerously low bar on set of production.
Like if you watch the Goldbergs, they have me in like a new car every time I'm driving DeLoreans. I drove the Kit car. I drove the Knight Rider car.
So those are like working cars that you as a driver should not be driving.
That's the other thing, is that like working is, that's a very interesting term you're using there, because they're cars from the 80s. So a lot of the time, like, they're not working.
Yeah, to find a working DeLorean in the first place. And even Kit. I don't know if Kit can move on its own.
And that's a crazy, like, both of those cars, a DeLorean and the Knight Rider car, which I think is a Corvette. I don't know what but the way you drive it is like you're back here, and you can't really turn it. And especially,
you're not even able to see past like the hood of the car. It's like, am I supposed to see you while I drive? No, okay. Cool.
And if you got like a good like belly going, you can't turn.
Well, there's our first fun fact with Dan. Not the bestest of drivers. All right, so we are 1 down of 5. The path has been now laid out in front of us. We are the first steps in, with many steps to go. Mr. Dan, take us down with the second step. Number 4 on the list of 5 fun facts.
Okay, number 4. I can do a 4-minute plank to the song "Eye of the Tiger."
Does it specifically have to be "Eye of the Tiger" though?
No, but it helps.
It definitely helps. Yeah, you can't do 4 minutes like in dead silence. You have to have Survivor there, reminding you of your true potential.
Exactly. And it's exactly 4 minutes long. And for some reason...
It is. It's like on the second. It's 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever tried to push yourself past that 4 minute? Like, get like 5 more seconds in there.
Like, if I was in the middle of a bet and someone was like, "What, you got a 4-minute plank?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I got a 4-minute plank." I'd be like, I know in the back of my head, I got about 4:30. I got about 4:30 before I start shaking.
So you can hit that 4, but then really show off a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you just like walk into like random gyms and be like, these guys can't do that, and just try to like outlast someone else doing a plank?
Yeah, I just start throwing money down. Who wants?
You're the plank shark of gyms.
No, I haven't been in the gym in a while, pal. I learned the whole plank thing came from not being able to be in the gym. So I just been doing like the plank challenge. So I've just been building it up over the last few months from 1 minute, So I'm up to 4. I'm proud of it.
Like, the plank is just, it's full body. It takes focus. It's some discipline involved. It's a good place to start if you can't go outside anyways. Take after Dan here. So far in 5 fun facts that not a great driver, but what you make up in your depth perception, you greatly pull off with a 4-minute Rocky plank, making Sylvester Stallone jealous. So I'm impressed. The internet's impressed, but can we do better than what we have so far? Dan, hit us with that. Number 3.
I have walked across hot coals.
What? Was this some kind of like initiation to become the leader of a group of people in a post-apocalyptic world?
You got it. No, it's...
You nailed it! Alright, 5 fun facts, we're done. I've always been terrified to try something like that. I just feel like, I don't know, like I'm gonna walk away with scars that I don't want. How and why? What put you in this situation?
Right, exactly. My girlfriend, who's my wife now, but at the time, she was like, we need to like work on our relationship, and she dragged me
across hot coals.
She dragged me across hot coals. No, she dragged me to this Tony Robbins,
I'm familiar with the speeches.
Yeah. So it was crazy. Whatever. Take everything with a grain of salt. I went to this thing, and there were moments of it where I was just like, "What? This is not for me." But the one thing that I took away from it, or a few things I took away from it, was that it's possible to walk across hot coals.
Did you like cartoon run across it, like where it's like you barely even touch the ground, or were you like, all right, step by step, and you hear like the bump, 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 bump in the back of your head to like really kind of get you across?
No, yeah, this was a while ago. So, but what is it? It's like wow. It's a mind over matter thing, where and it's also like a scientifically proven walking cadence thing. So, if you in your mind, if you think of think of the exact opposite of hot coals. So he had everybody basically looking away from the hot coals, looking up, and imagining cold moss. He had everybody just thinking about cold moss, right? Cold moss, okay? And
interesting.
And then when you walk across your coals, you're not looking down, because I guess if you look down, it's kind of like, hanging off a cliff or something, like don't look down.
And did you come out on the other side of the fires a better man?
I did. If you walk at a steady pace, the right amount of water vapor, will come up on the bottom of your foot as you step each time, and you'll have a cushion of water vapor that'll protect you.
Things I didn't know about water vapor.
Now you know.
Well, we are only proving right now that Dan Fogler is a omnipresent God. I think is what we can say.
Yep.
The imagination of a true creator, able to walk across fire, need not of mortal transportation, and of course, is the greatness that he is. With his 4-minute plank. Well, we kind of hit our halfway mark here, if we were to divide 5 by 2. And I like to break up our fun facts with like little stories, little anecdotes, where sometimes I get to share with our guest. And this time, Dan, this is not the first time you and I are meeting.
I knew that.
Did you know that?
I knew that.
Really?
We met in our dreams. On the astral plane?
We did! Because again, you're an omnipresent being.
No, you were on a PR tour. You were on a PR tour, right?
Yeah, it was at a convention in SoCal, and I was on my way to a panel. I had stopped to see an artist that I knew that was sitting across from you because you were doing a signing, and I looked, and it was like the first, like I try not to get awestruck, but I saw you and I was like, this guy is in one of my favorite movies. I mentioned it earlier. You were in Fanboys,
yeah,
which literally inspired me. Like me and some of my friends, we decided to storm the ranch in the most uneventful trip we'd ever done. Turned it into 3 days. Made it to the ranch. Talked to the security guard, and very happily turned away and drove back with a great story. But I walked up to you and I said, I'm just a big fan. I love what you did. Thanks for being you. And then you signed for me. A little Fanboys mini poster, which I keep in my collection of stuff that's over on this side of the camera. And yeah, I still keep it on display because it's one of my favorite things that I have in my collection. So thank you for being an awesome individual.
Yeah, man. That's my pleasure. That is a perfect example of a movie where I was the guy who was the expert in driving the van. And
that's right. That was another the Hutch's touch.
And that van was the wheel was made out of silly putty. Did you know that? It was very
yes. It looked rickety. It didn't look like it was together. It was missing a few screws, and not in like a mental way. Just like literally was not put together well.
Yeah, and the seat would often just start leaning back and just like clunk fall off. while we were driving, and I was at the wheel. And here's another thing is that I didn't know how to drive a van. Like driving a car is a whole other thing, but then driving a van is a different story. And
you've got presence when you're in a van. Like you're not just like you there control. You got like area around you.
Yeah, and and I had to be like the master of my van, of my domain there. And so to get ready for that, I had my buddy rent U-Haul vans, and I would drive around in U-Haul van.
So your acting prep was to just drive a U-Haul van.
Basically, I was just so scared shitless to have to drive the van. I was like, shit.
Look at that, a little bonus fun fact for you, a little behind-the-scenes story of Fanboys, where Dan, in order to figure out how to drive the van, drove U-Haul vans. Well, I guess that's smart. You had the thought to kind of go with that, and that's good. Which now brings us to the second half of our journey. We near the end with the most funnest of fun facts, but before we hit the peak of this mountain, number 2 on this awesome list of 5 fun facts. Will you hit us with number 2, sir?
Number 2, I am able to punch through like 3 planks of wood.
No, you aren't.
Yeah.
That's physically impossible. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say that, because as a man that can do a 4-minute plank and find himself gliding across the hottest of coals, you punching through. How did you find this out? Was this like hey, let's see what I can do real fast, or was it like for a role? What threw you into this situation?
It was a surprise. I didn't think I was going to be able.
You were walking down an alley. You got attacked by 3 planks at one time.
I just reacted. No, I was doing martial arts just for exercise, and then I got asked to do this show called Story of Masters, right? So, and I was traveling around Asia, China, Korea, Japan, all over the place. And, I was meeting with all these different masters, all these different teachers, and they would, run you through all the courses and all the tests and everything. And one of the things was punching through, blocks of wood. So the very first time that I did it, I was like, "You sure you just don't want?" I'm just gonna do 1 block. They were like, "No, they're like, you can do 3. You can do 3. Trust us." And I was like, "Okay." So they set up the 3. It's like, it's thick, man. And so I'm just like, okay, we were doing these like chi, like breathing techniques before.
Because you have to like breathe. You have to like breathe through the punch or something, right?
Yeah, basically, you have to. It's kind of like when you're about to jump off the high dive, or you're about to jump out of the airplane, or whatever that is that you.
Listing things I don't do.
It's the same process. You just take that energy that you're using to get ready to jump out on stage.
I love that we started this off with like the concept of we're going to learn 5 things we don't know about Dan Fogler. Pretty cool. But now you're kind of giving us this step-by-step instructional video on just how to be a better omnipresent person.
Yeah.
Between, first of all, you don't need the vehicles of mortal man. Walk. You'll have time to think. You'll have time to enjoy life around you. The heat of coals means nothing to you. Plank until your heart explodes, and breathe and fight the fears and adversity in front of you to punch through. Not 1, not 2, yet 3 planks of wood.
Yeah, you surprise yourself, man. You don't know what you're capable of.
We went all inspirational up in here.
And then after I did that, I was just punching through all sorts of things. I was just like, holy crap! Just punching through walls.
Never opened a door the right way ever again. All of these inspirational messages, the instructional audio book of greatness that you've now given us, all has led us to this one spot at the top of Mount 5 Fun Facts. Mr. Dan Fogler, hit us with the fun fact to end all fun facts, to blow the collective mind of the internets, to destroy the Wikipedia pages. Take us there, sir.
What's funny is that I didn't know you were going to go backwards, so I started with I kind of like the most cerebral one first. So here's the funnest fact.
Here's the funnest fact.
My first love was sculpting. Like
Really?
Yeah. Like if acting did.
So you're like an artistic individual.
Yeah, man, I like sculpting. It was crazy when I was I probably was like 5 years old, and it was my birthday party, and there's kids and family and everybody around, and I started opening my presents, and I had toys and all sorts of cool stuff. But I got this like rainbow spectrum of clay, and I was looking at all of it, and I was just like, holy crap! And then I just kind of disappeared from the party for a while, and my parents were like, where the hell did he go? And they found me, and I was creating all the little characters from the Sunday comics, like Garfield and Snoopy, but like 3D versions of them out of clay, and I was just lying.
So it all comes full circle to comic books. Even you as a kid, you were like there and attached.
Totally. And so yeah, man, if the acting didn't work out, I probably would have been like a sculptor. I don't know, but
a true renaissance man, from writing to sculpting to acting. You have the arts all rolled up into one person with you.
I guess so, man. I mean, don't judge a book, I guess that's what they say.
And that is where we are with the 5 fun facts on a journey from not needing to take motorized vehicles for transportation, to being able to show up Rocky with a 4-minute plank, to walking across hot coal, to punching through any door that stands in front of him. But yet, as strong as he is, his hands are soft with clay. We have 5 fun facts with Dan Fogler.
Hey.
Now, again, I just want to thank you so much for being here, Dan. Again, let us know the name of the comics, where they can get them, and about your podcast also. Let's throw that in there, too.
Oh, for sure, man. The podcast, Dan Fogler 40 Experience Podcast. This month is Tales from Beyond the Veil month on the audio show, where we talk about, paranormal stuff, UFOs.
Ooh! That's my jam. That's actually how I got started in the entertainment industry. Is I used to do tech for paranormal documentaries.
Ooh, no way.
That's how I got started. So I learned camera work and editing, and then that slowly got me to what I'm doing now.
Well, you got to come on my podcast, and we'll talk about any kind of freaky stories.
Always a pleasure.
Sweet, man. And then we started, because of the lockdown, kind of just as out of necessity, I started a live. We're calling it the video cast,
because that's what it is now. It's a video cast. We got a pot.
That's what it is. I was always keeping it kind of audio, and then I was like, you know what? Let's add the video. Let's do it. And
let that personality shine through.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. So we we just started. We had our third show. The last show we had was great. We had Ross Marquand on from The Walking Dead, and we had he does impressions, and we had Leah Thompson on, man.
Oh, really? That must have been great.
We talked about Back to the Future and Howard the Duck and all the 80s, all that stuff. And that was just great, man. I've just been a fan for her. And she's directing me in the Goldbergs, so that was really fun to catch up with her. And then I got so we have another video cast on 8/22. That's for the 40X show. And
then one more time, go ahead and run us through your comics. You have 3 comics out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Moon Lake, Brooklyn Gladiator, and Fishkill. And
again, we've got links to all of those down below.
Beautiful. And also part of the Mainframe Comic-Con. Well, you guys are going to miss it, but we're doing a director's commentary about Fishkill. We got Temple Smith coming out, and we're going to break down the first issue. I'm trying to do stuff that people haven't done before.
I like it, and I think that's the best way to find success in these trying times is, just thinking outside of the box, doing stuff that, maybe you haven't done before, other people haven't done before, like a 4-minute plank. Exactly. That's how you find your success. So, again, thank you so much, Dan, for stopping by here on 5 Fun Facts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. Again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, because if you like this video, I guarantee you're going to like the other stuff that we do here on the Jovenshire. Until the next time, how I like to end each one of this is I like to have our guests do my signature outro, which is just as simple as, I'll see you later. So if you can give that to me in your impression of it, and that is how we'll end this show today.
For you, Jovenshire. Anything, man. You ready? See you later.
There it is, folks. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you need some more Jovenshire in your life, we have 2 videos there on the right, and don't forget to subscribe, because if you like this video, I guarantee you're going to like the other stuff that we do here. And if you get a chance, go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because we create a lot of content there that doesn't always make it to YouTube. Go check it out.